2013 sales meeting is titled Making a Difference in a Watered Down Marketplace. I'm going to explain that in a minute, but I want to welcome everybody to the program. Have some things I want to share with you. As we always do, remember the right phone number. Canada has a different phone number, but I see everybody is on the computer, so there's no warnings today. I'm not sending out any warnings today, I don't think. Let me just go through. Nope, everybody's on the computer, so we're good to go. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. With the exception of Bob Schaefer. And Bob, make sure, Bob, that you have the 516 number. If you're at a computer, just write something in the question box so I know that you're squared away there. Now, a little personal note. I told you folks I was up in the sticks. I am up in the sticks. That is not my backyard. That's not my pond, but it is my neighbor's pond. And I live right underneath the letter M over those woods right there. And I took a walk yesterday and snapped this just before it started snowing up here. So get a load of that. There was frost on the ground and snow on the ground. Well, not on the ground, but snow in the air. Chilly today, and rumor has it in a couple of weeks we'll have some warm weather. So stand by for that. Okay, Bob Schaefer has the right phone number. I'm going to take it off the screen in a second. Let me just see if anyone else needs a warning. Nope, I think we're good to go. Okay, so let me close that box. All right, there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about today and then send you back to work. This postcard came in the mail yesterday. I happen to know this gentleman, Larry Mercereau, used to work for Travel Agents International, and he got into the speaking business, and now he's working, and I don't know where he's living now. I think he married a flight attendant, so he was bouncing all over the place. But he sent this yesterday. This was a postcard that he still promotes his speaking with postcards, and his branding is his topic. But I mean, look how clear that is. I mean, you cannot get that postcard without reading that. Now, it's not graphically fancy. It's not Googleized. It's not have 1,000 pictures in it, but you read it. And the message is stand out. And what we don't see there, it says differentiate or die. Differentiate or die. And that means if you don't stand out, if you don't come across as something special, it's not going to be long before this is a memory. I mean, we are in a watered down marketplace. I say that in all due respect. Watered down because of the ease of entry. The travel industry is easy to get into. I had a phone call today or an email today from a member who said, this is not my full-time job. Now, I know a lot of people on the phone today and in the club, this is kind of a second job. I'm not saying it's a hobby, but I'm saying it's not your primary bread and butter. And a lot of people are out there working in A and then doing something in travel as letter B. There's a lot of people out there. So if you do not do something special, because, hey, here's one for you, become the exception. Now, there's a cute title for a book. If you don't become the exception, if you don't stand out, if you don't do something different, or the fancy word, if you're looking for fancy words, is differentiate. If you don't become different from other people, you're going to be spinning your wheels. You're going to be spinning your wheels. And by the way, that's why, one of the reasons why I'm conducting that webinar on Friday, as most of you know. I think most of you have signed up for it, for AMA Waterways. It's not for AMA. They're just responsible for it, really. But I'm going to be talking about river cruising on Friday. And why that is different is because nobody's talking about it yet. The newspaper is. You're starting to get some buzz, but most people are still talking about carnival fiascos, you know, or they're talking about cruise ships, or they're talking about the Caribbean. They're still talking about some things that I think are kind of like yesterday's news. And river cruising is the buzzword, and I'm going to prove that to you. Most webinars attract anywhere from 30 to, say, 100 people. Now, if you get 100 people on a webinar, you're doing well. You're doing very well, these public preferred supplier webinars that you guys sign up for. If there's 100 on there, that is good. Well, this Friday, I have close to 700 agents on board. And it's not because of me, heaven's sakes. Don't flatter yourself, Mike. It's not about me. It's about the topic. It is a hot topic. It's going to differentiate differentiate agents from, okay, you do cruises, you do tours, you do hotels, you do cars. Hey, I do river cruises. I can do them in Africa, I can do them in Taiwan, I can do them all over the place. So it's the point I'm making is concentrate, think, wake up, go to bed, just always thinking about what can I offer the people to make a difference, because there's so much noise out there. I just don't want to be watered down and be connected with everybody else. Very, very important. Now, what the point I'm really trying to drive home with today is the topic, the title, the subject, because those 700 people on Friday, they responded to the 2 words, river cruising. We looked here at 2 words on the screen, stand out. You don't have to wax eloquent. You have to hit them with something that they can read and that they can understand and that they can benefit from and that they can say, what's in it for me? That's what you have to do, because there's so much noise out there. You're in a competitive environment. Join the club. Now, I was speaking to an associate of mine. You might know him, Nolan Burris, yesterday, and he was saying, Mike, I see exactly what you're talking about. He gave me a compliment. And he said, I see exactly what you're talking about. That I told you I kind of backed off on my marketing a while ago because I was so busy. And now things are pretty quiet. I mean, it's scary quiet. And when I do something, he said, when I do something, something happens. When I send an email, I get a little blip. If I make a phone call, I get a blip. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you get nothing else out of our relationship, if you quit tomorrow, if you go home, pack your tent, opt out, do whatever you do, I want you to remember this. The world will operate in your favor as you operate. If you want more emails, send more emails. If you want more phone calls coming into your business, dial more phone calls going out. Send more postcards. Be more visible. You have to do more if you want more. Now, I get so upset when I tell my brother, I'm busy, I can't do that. Well, I know you're busy today. I don't care if you're busy today. You're going to be crying a lot of years if you don't lick a stamp today, if you don't make a phone call today, if you don't thank somebody today, if you don't do something, you're going to be sorry. You may be happy today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year you might be happy. But if you're planning on doing this another 40 years, you better do something. And I'm talking to you folks now. Don't rest on your laurels. Keep doing. I don't care if it's wrong. I don't care. Do something wrong. Screw it up. I don't care. You'll learn from it. The more screw-ups, the more you learn. The smarter you'll be, the more money you're going to make. And then you'll laugh at me in 10 years saying, Mike, what happened to you? But I hope I'm driving this point home. Now, I'm sitting here. Now, listen, this is how it works. This is how I get 700 people on a webinar. I'm sitting here saying, okay, the promotions are out. Travel Research Online promoted it. Travel Institute promoted it. Okay, good. I did my work. I promoted it. Well, now I'm sitting here saying, wait a minute. I got 4 days. What can I do in these 4 days to help put one more seat on that webinar? One more seat. I don't want 200 more seats. One more seat. What can I do right now? So what I've been doing is I go into my old databases. Some of you are probably getting upset with me because you've gotten more than one invitation. Well, that's because you're on more than one of my lists. And I just ask them. Now, I sent one to Travel Leaders, the head out there, and said, hey, spread the word. I sent it to one woman, and I told her to spread the word. In other words, pass it out. I send one, you send 1,000. That's the easy way to do it. Well, listen, and this is how it works. I get an email back within 10 minutes saying, do you do a workshop on this topic? I am presently investigating our conferences for next year. Okay? So I did something, and something happened. Now, I don't know if it's going to be good, bad, or indifferent, but I certainly now have a carrot in front of me that I didn't have yesterday. If I said, I've done everything I could, I'm going to lunch. So now I have a meeting, which is a lot more lucrative than this webinar on Friday. But you send a stamp, lick a stamp, send an email, do something about a tour or a product. You don't know where that's going to lead. Well, Mike, I don't want to go to Africa, but do you do around the world cruises? I don't know. These things happen. I'm not making this stuff up. But we have to stand out. And one of the ways you stand out is by finding some energy and doing more, being more visible. And also, here's another thing. You are going, I'm telling you this, so don't be surprised that if you have what I call emotional intelligence is knowing how things work. And I'm absolutely amazed that smart people in our government don't have this thing called emotional intelligence. But anyway, what I want you to do is I want you to think about what you can do to make a difference, what you can send, and do it, and fail and learn from it. But you won't fail. I'm telling you, you won't fail. You'll start seeing how this thing works. But we must differentiate ourselves. We must stand out. And here's my point. I'm going to say, be ready to fail. I mean, don't get upset. The emotional intelligence says I'm going to fail. So when you do fail, don't get mopey on me. Don't get mopey and, hey, Mike, nothing works. You know, I'm in the wrong business. I don't know what I'm going to do. No, you're in the right business. You're just not having some hits. You're having a little bit of a slump, and probably you're having a slump because you're not doing enough. You're not swinging the bat. I mean, it sounds so cliche-ish, but I'm afraid that's what it is. That's what it is. You can't lose in sales. Sales is a non-lose game. You can't lose because you never had it. You can lose in customer service because you don't have customer service. You have a customer and you can lose it. That's a loss. But in sales, you don't have a sale, so you can't lose it. You may not get it, but you didn't lose it. Just go get another one. And if you borrow that attitude, if you can adopt and internalize that attitude, then you're going to wear it. And if you wear the attitude, you're going to start attracting more people because, and this is a sad commentary, I'm going to say it because I mean it, the world seems to me is filling up with a lot of sad sacks. They're moping, they're whining, I don't get it. They have their TVs, they have their cars, they have their steaks, they have everything they need, and yet they're not happy. Well, I want you to bring happiness just by being there. Just light up the room. I know how things work. I win, I lose. Who's next? Can I help you? Give me a call. Hey, you're going to Bermuda? Fantastic. If I can help you, give me a call. You're going to get married? How cool is that? If I can help you, give me a call. You know, and you're the guy. You're the person. You're the magnet. And you've heard me say this. You know, there's only so many things I can tell you guys. You know, you're a magnet. You either attract people or you repel people. Now you decide. Upbeat people attract them. That's what I want. I want to attract people into the circle. That's it. And look at this. Let me just make sure. Tell me what slide. Tell me what's on the slide, folks. Give me a little bit. Somebody tell me what's. Okay, great. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Joe, you know the horses because you spend most of the time at the track. I know how you recognize these guys. Hey, but listen. There's a couple things I want to highlight on this fun little slide. I don't know who the horses are. I don't know who the jockeys are. But there's three things. Number one, the secret to winning a horse race, and in business, when I say horse race, I'm talking about business. The secret to winning a horse race is to get on top of a fast horse. That's the secret. I mean, you could be the best jockey in the world, but if you're not on top of a fast horse, you're not going to win. And how I relate that to business is you better decide who your customers are. You better have cool customers. You better have cool preferred suppliers. You better have good contacts. You better have a good organization. You better be a fast horse. And you put all of those things together and you're going to win. But hang out with good, upbeat, happening people. Hang out with other fast horses. Now, this is a true story that happened yesterday, and this is a perfect example of speed. I'm shopping for house insurance for my condo down in Florida. Okay, they dropped me. So I'm calling up a couple of people, and they're all nice on the phone, a little pleasant. I'm a little lazy. I don't like the way they answer the phone, and I'm entitled to not like the way you answer the phone. Why? Because I'm the consumer. I'm the customer. I'm the client. I'm the guy with the wallet. I don't care about your problems, Mr. and Mrs. Insurance Person. I don't care if I'm the 28th call this hour. I don't care about that. I care about me and my house and my condo and my family. That's all I care about. I hope you're getting the message here. So the way you answer the phone, if you're not happy that Mike calls, you have a strike rate against you. But I call this guy up. I call it, and this guy was a referral. Now, there's a cool word. I said, hey, Jimmy Jones suggested I call you. Well, bingo, there it was. He responded quickly because he knew Jimmy Jones, whoever that was. And then he said stuff to me that I liked the way he said it. I liked his tone. I mean, he didn't care if I gave him insurance or not. He didn't care. I could hear that. But he was there to help me, and he was interested. And he said he was going to call me back, and he called me right back. And I immediately put him into the speed column. I mean, he answered the phone. He answered my questions. He called me back. This is all good stuff. And this morning I ended up sending him a check. And you're in the same business. Speed wins. Answer the emails first. When I get you guys calling me up, I try to answer your emails, at least acknowledge it. And Jim, I'm going to use you as an example, Jim. You asked me a question, Jim McAleese, and I was taking too long, in my opinion, to get you the answer. So I sent you an email saying, "Hey, stand by. I'll be right there." Acknowledging it. And I don't know. Let me just see if this is a good example. Jim, type down in the question box there. Type down if you noticed that. I'm going to type down if you noticed that. I said, "Hey, I'll be right back." But that's your business. You have to be faster than the competition because you got a lot of it out there. That's my point. And it's little things. It's answering the phone quickly. It's answering it up. That's how you do it. That's how you differentiate yourself from this watered-down, negative-out world that we are. Okay, and Jim said I certainly did. He did notice it. Why? Because people notice little things. You don't have to be superhuman, folks. People notice little things. Little things are easy. Little things are inexpensive. Little things work. Instead of saying yeah, say yes. It will work. Open up a car door for a woman. It will work. Send somebody a thank you note on Friday. It will work. Everybody is beat up today. They're tired. They're sick and tired. And you're going to be a breath of fresh air. And if you're going on a trip, give me a call. I think I can help you. That's your attitude. Hey, I might not be able to help you. Let's find out. If I can't help you, I'll point you towards who can. How's that for a deal? And if you don't want to do business with me, that's not my problem. I always use this as an example. When I had a fire extinguisher and the guy's car in my parking lot caught on fire, and I said, "Hey, do you want to use my fire extinguisher to put out the fire in your car?" And he says, "No." I don't lose any sleep over that. Not my problem. It's your car. I could have helped you. You want my help? I'll go find somebody who wants my fire extinguisher. And you're in the same boat. If you want a good vacation, I'm happy to help you. If you don't want to have a good vacation, that's not my problem. Go screw up your vacation. Screw up your marriage. Screw up the relationship with your kids. Go ahead. Screw everything up. I don't care. But when you want some help, here's my number. I'll be happy to help you. If you go to Rome, don't come back and say, "Oops, I missed that." Whose fault is that? It's not my fault. So you don't want to be arrogant. I'm being kind of tongue-in-cheek here. You don't want to be arrogant, but you have to be confident that you can help me. If I don't want your help, that's okay. You have to now this is the attitude thing, but you have to go ring more doorbells. You have to go make more phone calls. You got to send more emails. You got to go do something to churn the pot, to stir the pot, so something is going to happen. That's what you have to do. And I'm going to show you. I got a little tool at the end of today's program. I have a little tool that will help you if you want help. Some people don't want help. That's okay. So let's see. So speed wins. Remember that. Answer the phone. Do the man. Don't go home with any pink slips on your desk. Stay late. I copied this down off something I read. Appearance, demeanor, appearance, important. Demeanor, your attitude, important. Eye contact, very important. A good handshake, very important. A sincere smile, very important. And enthusiasm. These things all matter. But in our world of technology, we're taking all of those out of the equation and replacing them with texting. We're replacing them with emails. We're replacing them with taking us out of the equation. And until they put sand on my body, I'm telling you that sales is still a contact sport. Pick up the telephone. Put a voice, at the very least, put a voice and an inflection and a tone and an enthusiasm and an attitude. Put that into your communications, because that they're not in an email. And this is the downside, because appearance is important. Demeanor, eye contact, good handshake, and a sincere smile with enthusiasm, that is what counts. That's what sells. Not to be over the top. I don't want to be over the top, but that's what people like upbeat people. And be careful, because in your emails you don't have that. And it's easy to do emails. And Zig Ziglar, you remember Zig? He's the pot and pan salesman. I think we lost him recently, but he made a name for himself in the selling world. For every sale you miss because you're too enthusiastic, you're too over the top, you're too vivacious, you're too this, you'll miss 100 because you're not enthusiastic enough. So what that says, if you're going to make a mistake, make it on the enthusiastic side, because more good things are going to happen. More things that are good are going to happen by being upbeat than by being humdrum. That's what that's saying. Okay. Stress is when you wake up screaming and you realize you haven't fallen asleep yet. I saw that today. Put that on. Now listen, folks. Now this is the serious Mike talking. And let me just hold on. Just going to. Okay, we got the. Okay, this is the. I just want to check in the phones and make sure everybody's. Okay, everybody's in good shape. Okay, this is the serious Mike talking. It's competitive out there. People are watching their nickels and dimes. I know it's getting hard, but the worst thing, that what I worry about most, what I really cringe, I cringe, that's the right word. I cringe when people call me up and say, Mike, if I don't do something by 5 o'clock tonight, I'm going out of business. I cringe when that happens. You know, it's just not working, Mike. I've tried everything, and I'm at the end of my line. I'm at the end. Well, I'm talking to the whole group here. Your job, your responsibility, your number one challenge is to decide today, what's the worst thing that could happen in my life? What's the worst thing? And then, after you identify the worst thing, make it your business that never happens. Example, the worst thing that could happen to me is if my house burnt down. Well, that's the worst thing, but let's say that's pretty bad. If my house burnt down, well, okay, that's pretty bad when it burns down. You're going to be a sorry man. So what can I do today to make sure that doesn't happen? Number one, I can go out and make sure there's batteries in the operating smoke alarms. I could do that, yes. I could go make sure that the important rooms that have engines in it and motors have a fire extinguisher, yes. I could go and one at a time look and check, or have someone official come in and look and check to make sure all of my receptacles or the plugs are in order and up to date. I can make sure that the gasoline and the oil in the garage is properly stowed. These are things I can do to make sure the worst thing doesn't happen. The second worst thing that could happen is if I lose operation of my body. So if that's the worst thing, if I can't move, if I can't go to an airport, if I can't run from terminal to terminal, if that's the worst thing that can happen, then what are you going to do today, Mike, to make sure that doesn't happen? Well, maybe I'm going to take a walk. Maybe I'm going to lose 5 pounds. Maybe I'm going to start eating better. But I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure the worst thing doesn't happen. Now it's your turn. The worst thing that can happen to you is you run out of customers. You're not going to run out of a ship. There's plenty of ships. You're not going to run out of hotels. They got hotels. That's not your problem. Your problem is you're not enough customers. So what are you going to do today and tomorrow and Wednesday to make sure that you never run out of customers? There's your challenge. There's the job. And it goes full circle. You can't get a customer until somebody knows you. And if they don't know you, they can't like you. So go find more people to introduce yourself to. That's how it works. And make it your business that the worst thing doesn't happen. And then you won't be waking up screaming. Because we do. We say, oh, man, I should have. I hate that word. I hate the word should. Should is a non-word. Either you did it or you didn't do it. Either you want to succeed or you don't want to succeed. And you can tell me, and I'm going to use this slide for those people coming on Friday. You're going to see this slide. Don't ever tell me that you can't succeed. Don't tell me that. Tell me you don't want to. Tell me you don't want to pay the price to. Tell me you don't feel like it. But don't tell me you can't, because you can. No, you're living in the United States and in Canada. I mean, yeah, you can do it here if you want to. And there's two sides to that coin. Number one, the ambitious, enthusiastic, energetic you on one side, and the lazy, negative, slug competition on the other side. So there you go. It's the perfect storm. You're upbeat, they're downbeat. Look out, man! I'm coming to town with an attitude, with my personality. So there is no magic pill, folks. I guess there's no magic pill. I wish I could say, hey, you're a nice person, you're going to be successful, because it doesn't work that way. It works when you make it work. And if you want a little nudge, or if you're having a little struggling these days, we all do. We all struggle. We all hiccup. We stumble a little bit. If you want one, write down on a piece of paper. Get a cup of coffee first. Always do that first. Get a cup of coffee. Then write down on a piece of paper 10 of your best customers, people you like, people that are going to be easy to call because you know them and you like them and they trust you and you know them for 1,000 years. And write 10 names down on a piece of paper, and then call them up one at a time to say thank you or say hi or to give them some message in that you think is important. And that exercise in and of itself will energize you in the right direction. I mean, don't go out and meet new people. No, go with the people you know, and then ask them for a referral. I called up my son's boss and I said, hey, I'm looking for an insurance guy. Who do you got? And he gave me a name, and it gave me a path. It gave me a phone. It gave me direction. So you ask for referrals, they will give them to you. They will. Now here's a secret though. Ask for 3, and they'll give you 1. Don't ask for 1 because they won't think of 1. But if you ask for 3, chances are you'll get 1. And then the games begin. Then you start rolling and you start cooking and things start turning around. And it's like the game of golf. I hate this game. I hate this game. You hit one good shot. I love this game. And wishing and hoping for success is not what you want to do. You want to make it happen. And that's why it's called work, I guess. Now, I don't know what time you guys got up, but I'm supposed to be retired. I'm not retired. I'm 65 years old or 64, something like that. I started the day. I don't want a medal for this. Don't give me a medal. I don't want a medal. I started at 5 o'clock today. At 5 o'clock, I was in front of my computer working, getting ready. Now, the papers say, the nuns in my grammar school said by this time I was supposed to be sitting in a rocking chair counting sunsets. But it doesn't work that way. If you want to pay the bills, you got to go do something. So I'm not suggesting you get up at 5 o'clock. The only crazy guys do that. But I'm suggesting you do more than you're doing now. Now, if you're doing a 2-hour day, do a 2-hour and 10-minute day. I don't know. But do a little bit more. And if you're busting your chops and you're saying, Mike, I can't possibly work any harder. I'm 14 hours a day. It's killing me. Well, I'm saying then stop going 14 hours a day. Stop going 14 hours a day because you're doing the wrong thing. Work 4 hours a day doing the right thing, not 14 doing the wrong thing. Don't impress me by saying, you do the right thing. Do the right thing, and better things are going to happen. Okay, so let's see. How did this get in here? We already covered that, stand out, but this somehow got back into my program here. So let's see. Are we in the right program here? Let's see. Hold on a second. Yeah, I am. Okay. So the strategy you're going to see on Friday is give before you get. It's always been my strategy. What can we give people? What can we do for people before we get something back? Maybe you're not giving enough before getting. Now, I'm not suggesting you give yourself away for free and you work for free. But in this day and age, there's so much free on the internet and everywhere we go that you've got to join that club a little bit and say, hey, I got something for you. Give me a call. I'll be happy to send it to you. And keep working it and keep working it and keep working it. It's called the marketing two-step, and it'll position you as the person in the know. You'll educate the consumer, which is a good thing, and you'll develop a relationship, and that's how it works. And you do it over and over, Monday through Friday, or Monday through Saturday, whatever your working hours are. You just keep doing it. You keep churning it. I got to go meet some neat people. That's all I got to do. I got to meet some more neat people. And if you can lick a stamp, you can do this. And it's not rocket science. It's not hard work. It's just that we're not doing enough and feeling good about ourselves. I think that's our major problem. So if you can lick a stamp. Now let's talk about licking a stamp. When was the last letter you wrote? I mean, I'm not going to ask you about your thank you notes. I'm scared of the answer. I'm frightened of that because it works. This is called a no-brainer, okay? Writing thank you notes on Friday is called a no-brainer. All right, that's what that's called. And everybody on the phone agrees with me. Everybody in the whole club agrees with me. But not everybody does it. That is insane. It's a no-brainer, folks. Write stuff to people, you will make more money. Fact. Period. End of sentence. Unless you're a total buffoon, and I don't think you are. But why you don't do it, I don't get it. I mean, how many you can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. You want to be more successful? Get a pen. It'll work. Lick a stamp. It'll work. It'll work. Now, I don't know how to say it any differently without sounding like a goon. So I'm going to change the slide. I think that's all I can do. Let's see. First, I got to put that in. Incidentally, by the way, I want to thank everybody who played with me and responded to my request. Not everybody did. That's okay. I didn't expect that. But the ones who did, I want to thank you. And what it did was it gave me insight onto where you found value in the club so we can continue to do it. Like one gentleman said, I really like the idea Wednesdays. Well, folks, let me tell you something. In my opinion, the benefit, the value of this organization that we're in, this club we're in, the value in my definition is 95% interaction between you guys, not me, you guys. You're out there in the trenches. You know what's going on. So 95% of the value of this club should be, there's the word should, could be, I'll say that, could be every other Wednesday during Idea Wednesday or open mic. I mean, there's the value. And this gentleman said that. I love to hear other people. Well, if that's the value, then I challenge you folks, get more verbal. Bring more input to the party on Wednesdays when we have meetings. Challenge yourself. Don't sit back and just listen. Give something. Rehearse. Practice. Give something back because that's the value. If we get 200 or 300 or 500 emotionally squared away, happening, upbeat people who are fun to be around, just think of this club could be super. Not because of me, because of you guys. You're the happening dudes and dudettes out there. So if you're under a rock, get out from under the rock and start participating because we need you. That's what the club's all about. So this is a slide coming from Friday. This is on Friday's program about the river cruise. And what it really is, it's a strategy of inviting people to an education program called the Lunch and Learn program. Can I come in and talk to you about Bermuda? Can I come in and talk to you about Alaska? Can I come in and talk to you about cruising in the Caribbean or Mexico or river cruises in this case? So what you're doing, and you don't need a river cruise, to pick a subject. Pick one you like. Pick Hawaii. Pick anything, Aruba, I don't care. But now you have to go invite people to you. You have to say, hey, I can do this. Can you want me to come in? I'll talk to your group. And the strategy is instead of talking to one person, you're going to talk to 10. Every organization has a secretaries club. Every big organization has the secretaries get together, a little club. Well, they have luncheons, and they have people come in and talk to them. Every condo association, if you're in Florida or if you're in a condo area, they have condo meetings. They have the women's meeting, the men's club, the bowling club, all kinds of clubs in the condos. And they're looking for people to come in. Sometimes they're jugglers, sometimes they're singers. You know, sometimes they're, who knows who they are. But you could come in and offer a presentation. That's what I'm talking about, doing stuff. You're not saying, hey, I want to come in and teach you how to run a computer. Those are boring. I'm going to come in and talk to you about a river cruise in Hawaii and Disney and Alaska and the polar bears and the glaciers. I mean, that's what I'm going to talk to you about. And I got some great looking slides I can show you that are good from, you know, I got them from National Geographic. I don't care. But that's what you do. Now, you lick the stamp and you write the letter and you say, hey, I have a 10-minute, 20-minute, 15-minute presentation. Do you want me to bring it to your group? If they say yes, great. If they say no, you still establish the relationship. You don't offer if you don't know what you're doing, so therefore you must know what you're doing, and the seed is now in the ground. And if you're not interested in Alaska, tell me what you guys are interested in, because I could do some quick research. I could get up to date on just about anything. But my specialty happens to be Alaska. I strongly recommend you do that one. So they're lunch and learn sessions, and that's what we're going to talk about on Friday with River Cruises. So here's what I want to end with today. And you have now listen to me. This is news to some of you. In the website, in the Inner Circle website, we have, under the document section, we have my 52-week sales planner. Now, it's a program I put together to monitor your progress. It's called the 52-week sales planner, and you have access to it. I sell it for $30. You have it. It's right there on your passcode and username. You got it. So you can go there and see what it's all about if you want. Go to the website. But here's the tool that I put together that I want to share with you. What you're looking at here, let me just make sure that we're looking at it. Somebody tell me that you can see the grid. So say I see the grid in your question box there. Yes, okay, thanks, Jim. Okay, so this is an Excel spreadsheet. Now, most of you have access to an Excel spreadsheet of some form. You might have the Mac, whatever they use, numbers, whatever it's called. But this is just a spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet. And there's, I think there's numbers down the side and letters across the top, or vice versa. I don't know. So what I did was I typed in, you can see the weekly planner. All right. So what tactics can I do during the week? Well, I can hand out business cards, can I? So in the second column there, I have business cards. I can make phone calls. Yes, I can. I can send emails. Yes, I can. I can write letters, for sales letters. Yes, I can. I can write proposals. Yes, I can. I can go to conferences. Okay. Now, this line, I just stopped with 6, but that could go out to 20 or 25 as you think of things that you can do, that you like to do, that you can do, that you have the budget if they cost anything to do, and you have the personality. So don't try to become something you're not. Put whatever makes sense to you up on that line. Then give each business card in this case, give it a point. So I just randomly picked one. You could say 2,000 lira if you wanted, but I said 2 points. So I gave business cards 2 points, phone calls 4, emails 4, letters 2, proposals 5, and conference 5. Totally random numbers. You pick them. Don't ask me what to put there. I don't care. This could be 200. This could be 4,000. Okay? I don't care. But now you say to yourself, okay, in a week, how many business cards can I hand out realistically? And you pick a number. Again, you just 2. You pick 2 if you want. You could pick. Don't put 2,000 because that's not realistic. But 2 is realistic. 4 is realistic. 20 is realistic. So my target is going to be 20 business cards each week, and each time I do that, it's 2 points. So if I hand out 20 business cards next week, I should have 40 points. All right, that's okay. So there it is. There's the challenge, the points and the target. So now you come down to week 1, and notice week 1 is blank because I didn't do anything yet. Well, if I hand out 10 business cards on a Friday, I'd sit down and say, what did I do this week? Well, I sent out 10. So I put the number 10 in that blank column right there. And when you do, the red 0 will turn to 20 because each one is worth 2 points. I'm going to show you in a second on the next slide. But I've already done the math in there. So all you have to do in the week 1 line is tell yourself what you have done. Now I'm going to go to the next slide if I didn't confuse you. Okay. So here's the next slide. So in week 1, I did hand out 20. And immediately that 0 turned to the number 40. Phone calls, my target was 10. Right? Here's the target, 10. And I did 10, so I got 40 points for that. But emails, I wanted, my target was 20, but I only managed 15. So 15 times my 4 points is 60. Okay, you see that? So as I'm doing this, look out to the right, I get a total. And depending on what I do, I get a total. So at week 1, I scored 161 points trying to build my business. Now, there's the benchmark. So next week, what do I want to do? I want that 161 to be higher. So again, there's my challenge. And the theory, folks, is what gets measured gets done. If we don't measure something, it's not going to happen. And that's why Weight Watchers works, because people get on the scale every Friday, count their points, and it works. Well, marketing will work the same way. You decide what it is you want to do every week. Give it a point, give it a target, and then monitor it. And I guarantee you, you will improve. I mean, you have to. So this little tool here, week 3, week 4, and if you notice, as you get week 2 filled in, this number on the bottom will change because that's your monthly number. So that number will go to 232 if you doubled it, okay, whatever it is. So as you fill in these blanks, that number will improve on a monthly basis, and the week number will improve, and then the total weeks will turn the month. Okay, so then this is month 1, but guess what? There's 11 months under that too. I only copied 1 month. This is a simple Excel spreadsheet. Now, if anybody, I'm going to end up putting it up there on our website, but if anybody wants it now to investigate, send me an email, mike@mikemarchev.com, and I'll shoot you to it quick. Now, if you want to know, I'll explain something to you here. Now, let's look at week 1. First of all, I'm just going to ask, just in general, did I explain this properly? Just tell everybody. Somebody answer me and tell me if they understand what I just said. Betty understands. Joe understands. Well, if Betty and Joe understand, then I know the rest of you did. I'm only joking, Betty and Joe. Yeah, I love you guys. Okay, and Ken is right on. Okay, good. All right. So now, just so you know, it's such a simple spreadsheet here. But I guarantee you, folks, what gets measured will get done. You pick it. Listen, business cards. I can't do 20 a week. I can only do 2. Well, put 2 there. So your weekly total over here, depending on your numbers and your evaluation, this number could be 10. I don't care. But then next week, do 11. And the following week, do 12. And at the end, your monthly column will be 50. See, so I don't care what the numbers are. I just want to see the arrow moving in the right direction. That's what I want. And this will help you. Now, if you want to tinker with this, you can see it here. It'll be on when you're recording, you'll be able to see it. I'll send you a copy of it. But the black numbers are there. I mean, week 1 is there, 20 is there. I mean, the black numbers are there. You just type them in. The red numbers are an equation. And what I did, just so you know, in Excel, if you put in that box, you click on the box, and then write equal sign, equal. There's the little 2 lines on top of each other. You put equal sign. So that's telling the box that there's an equation coming. Then, in this case, the equal sign was whatever I put in week 1, that 20, and 20, it would be B, because it's the second column. It would be B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It would be B8. So where you see 40, that equal sign would equal B8 times B2. B would be B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Would be B8 times whatever that one is. 1, 2, 3, 4. B4. So it'd be B4 times B8. And you'd put the B4 in brackets. I'm confusing you. I'm confusing myself. I'll explain it later. But you put the equation in there, and then you just paste that equation everywhere, and then it's done. And then all you have to do is fill in your black lines then. So it's very simple to do. I confuse that. It's so, hey, you want to learn something? Try teaching it, because it's a lot harder when you're trying to tell people over a telephone how to do it. I will send you a little video of this because I think it's important. But in the meantime, I'll send you the whole thing so you don't even have to worry about anything. All right. Let's see. Hold on a second. Okay, Robert got it. Okay, since you came out with this sales planner, how many of your members actually follow this? Well, the answer, okay, that's a great question. I just got a question. I have emails in my testimonials of people swearing by this, okay? The question is how many use it? The answer is very few. Now, and the reason being is because people don't do stuff. And this was a question that came in about how many people use this. And the reason is because they don't have the discipline. They don't have the discipline to do it. And I was speaking to a Xerox big shot salesperson once. Big shots. Xerox wrote the book on sales training. They're the best sales trainers in the book. Xerox sales training was excellent, excellent stuff. And I asked this woman, I met her once, I said, hey, can I ask you a question? I said, of all this neat stuff that you learn, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Hey, whoever's out there talking, stop talking because you're live. Hold on.
All right, my client Soletko's thought.
Wait a minute, holy cow. Somebody's live and they're not muted. Okay.
Ice cream and peanuts.
I've muted everybody, but someone came in. I just don't want you to embarrass yourself. Now listen, everybody. I don't want you to embarrass yourself, but somebody out there, everybody, don't say anything bad because somebody's live, and I just don't want to embarrass anybody. Okay, but someone's phone did not mute. I'm looking down, and I'd have everybody muted, but someone snuck through. But in any event, I said, how many people do everything that you tell them? And the answer was beautiful. She said, the good ones do. The good people do it.
Well, they experienced some of the services that, like the butler, that they never had before.
Hey, Howard Danforth.
Not that they haven't had butlers.
Hey,
Howard. They were, hang on here just a minute.
Hey, Howard, I can hear every word you're saying.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I thought you were muted. You're supposed to be muted, but I can hear. Just be careful, man, because I can hear everything you're saying. Somehow you got online here, so just be careful, okay? Yeah, I don't even see you on here, but somehow you got into anyway, be careful because I can hear you. Any event, they said the good ones do, folks. So, and to answer your question, if you want to make money, write more thank you cards. I can't make you do it. If you want to progress in your business, find the discipline to fill out this form on a Friday that will take you 3 minutes. Now, the difference between Weight Watchers and this is Weight Watchers, you get on the scale in front of 30 people. So they're watching you. But in your case, you're in your closet. No one can see what you do. So if you put 2 or 4 or 50 or fudge this or cheat, that's up to you. But I'm saying if you don't want to get to that point, which is the worst point in your life where you're saying, I have to close my shop because I failed, then you better start finding the energy to do stuff like this. Because this is what will get you there. This is what the pros do. I like it? No, I don't like it. It's too much work, man. It's too much like I got to sit down Friday and put 20 in a box. That's for crazy people. Well, okay, that's your choice then. I can't help you. So the answer is the good ones will follow it, and I don't know how will. Most people won't even ask for it right now. That's okay. I can lead the horse to water. I can't make it drink. I think that's the saying right there. But it is the phone call. Yeah, I don't have anybody on the phone though. I'm the webinar guy on the phone. I'm trying to think, and I don't even see Howard was listed. He's not listed anymore, so somehow it slipped through the cracks. Hey, which brings me to another great point, folks. You think you're muted, but you're not. I mean, always think that you're live. Whatever you do, whenever you leave your house, whenever you pick up the phone. I mean, Oli learned a lesson the other day that your computers, they have microphones. You don't know where it is, but you have a microphone in that computer. And you think you're not on, but you're on. Sometimes if you say something, the wrong thing at the wrong time, it could cost you. So you're always on in business, especially when it's your own business. Any business, you're always on. So you behave that way. If you can't go wrong then. If you always behave like you're on, then you can't go wrong. But just because there's so many instances where people think they're not on and they say something dumb and it hurts them. And we don't want that. Okay. So, Andy Bailey, give me a call at the end of the show, Andy. I want to talk with Andy. And and Ken, send me an email to let me know when we want to get together. And Jim, you and I are going to chat, and Kizzy, you and I are going to chat today. So there you go. So that's it for today. Send me an email, mike@mikemarshev.com. If you want a quick, I'll just hit the button back, and I'll shoot you this Excel thing. You can play with it, figure it out, and if you have a problem, I'll be happy to straighten you out, and you can fill in your own little things. And just put in 4 lines. You know, don't have 17 lines. Put in business cards, phone, emails, letters, whatever it is. Just do 4. Just see if it works. It'll work. It'll work. And it'll keep you on the straight and narrow. So before, are you calling me? Yeah, Jim, call me, Jim, 607-264-9544, Jim. As soon as we hang up, it's 607-264-9544. Joe, don't feel left out. Mike, turn me live, and I can go. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, hold on, Bob. Bob Schaefer is unmuted now, and the question, Bob, was, how many people do it? I think. Go ahead.
Well, Mike, fundamentally, I think the 52-week planner is a great idea. It adds discipline to everything we do. However, I'm the type of person who would go nuts trying to follow that. And for 3 years after I was aware of the 52-week planner, I totally ignored it. And then one morning I had this epiphany. You know, I don't have to have 8 or 10 or 12 different items to score myself on. I decided to have one item. And that one item was, on a weekly basis, contact one group prospect. That would be 52 calls a year. Well, whether I make 52 or not, what it has done is dramatically improved my group business because I'm contacting more suspects. And that's the value of the sales planner. You can take it and adapt it to your own personal style. You can use it to measure the activities that you choose to measure. You don't have to follow the little boxes to a T. Customize it. That's my point.
Perfect, Bob, and I appreciate that. And with an Excel spreadsheet, it's so easy to do. You just type in your own little line. And as Bob said, he only has one line, but that one line is so important that by adhering to it, it makes sense. Like a diet. You can say, I don't want a diet, but I'm just going to cut back my sugar. Well, you cut back sugar, and you're going to lose weight. Or I'm just going to exercise. I'm going to walk a little bit. I'm going to walk. That's one column. I'm going to walk 20 minutes a day. That's my column. Well, you do that, and you're going to get progress. But here's the secret. You got to do it. You just don't do it once and say it didn't work. You got to do it and do it and do it, and every day and every week and every month, and that's when you get the results. But thanks, Bob. Thanks for endorsing that. I didn't invent this, folks. I went to Weight Watchers with my wife, and I saw how it worked. And I said, if it works with weight, it will work with marketing. Give it a point, select your points, select your foods, adhere to the foods, adhere to your marketing points, and it will work. And that's the secret. That's the secret. Okay, let me see who else. One sounds to me. Okay, and I just got feedback in. One sounds more realistic, but no, you're selling yourself short. 2 or 3 or 4, 5 is realistic. I mean, again, it's how bad you want to succeed. Yeah, Bob did 1, but if he did more than that, he would have more business. So don't sell yourself short, folks. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna share another personal item with you here. In 1998, I ran the Ironman competition. I don't know if you know that. It's a 2.4 mile swim, and then you ride a bike for 112 miles, and then you run 26 miles, and you become a certified lunatic. Okay, but I did that, the Ironman. Well, I'm telling you what you learn with those long distance races. What you learn is that your mind quits long before your body does. That's what you learn. That if you're going to fail, it's not because you're physically not going to make it, it's because you're mentally not going to make it. Okay? The mind quits long before the body does. So when you decide to stop, it's because your mind tells you to stop. Not your legs, not your heart, not your arms, not your chest. Your mind says, I'm done, I quit. And if you can fight through that, you're amazed how much further you go. Now, your mind says that 1's enough. Your mind says 2's enough. 3, I can't handle more than 3. Yes, you can. Now the simple question is how bad you want it. If you don't want it, then that's okay. That's fine. But if you want it, if you really want it, then you got to push, you got to train, you got to get beyond that mind barrier. And that's something personal. That's you. That you have to decide how bad you want something, because it goes back to you can do anything you want. There's people that are very, very successful in this business that don't have any more airplanes than you do, but they've done something different. And probably the answer is not different as much as more of it. So anyway, that's today's sales meeting of me harping on you. And some of the people came back and they said, what do you like about the inner circle? Is because, Mike doesn't candy coat it, and I don't think I know how to do that. So I think that this was today a perfect lesson of Mike not candy coating what he thinks. So there you go. Send me an email if you want the planner. Friday, if you haven't signed up for the river cruising in the box, 1 o'clock on Friday, we're doing a webinar. If you sign up, there's really like 685 people. It really would surprise me. But it's the topic. You select the right topic, and they will come. You select the right topic for your lunch and learn, and they will bring you in, and you will meet more people, and you will get more business. Now, I'm not a public speaker, you say. Well, the first time you may screw it up. That's okay. But then you'll get better at it, and then you'll learn to like it, and then you'll start cashing in on it. I mean, that's how it works. Nothing's free. No magic pills. Okay, so I'm going to call this session over. I thought we were going to end early. We never end early. It always takes an hour. Call me with your ideas, your thoughts. I'm here, and I'll talk with you later. This meeting is adjourned, and that's it for now. Bye.